Well, ladies and gentlemen, last we heard from Fenix was at the end of 2023, and many of us have since been eagerly awaiting on new updates from the team behind the A320, as well as the hotly anticipated A319 and A321. The team have issued a mega 41-minute video on their official YouTube channel as of around 2 days ago, highlighting every new groundbreaking feature making its way into Block 2 of the Fenix A320. From new features, quality of life updates, improvements and refinements, as well as hints about the new A319 and A321, there's tons to check out in today's video. Now, if you're ardent fans of this channel and aviation in general, I'm sure you'll love the other two channels we've just launched alongside this one, FlyBy Expeditions and FlyBy Investigations. More details are in the description as to what's going to be covered on these channels in the very near future, but your support on them in these early stages would mean the world to me. A quick note from our sponsor before getting into the meat of things. Now, long-term viewers of the channel might know that I'm not much of a bush pilot or GA aircraft flyer. I love flying large airliners, but there's always that lingering feeling about how my flight is doing, whether it's all peaceful or if I'm in an uncontrolled nosedive about to kill all of my passengers. Well, with today's sponsor, Awesome Remote, you don't have to worry anymore. Awesome is a free-to-download application software from macOS, Windows, and Android that allows you to remotely control your PC using your phone. As can be seen here, I can monitor my flight, control the cameras, and even move things around as needed without having to be anywhere near my monitor. So log on to the link in the description section of the video to see all of their expanded payment plans, including a pluggable device that can wake up your PC remotely. Once again, that's Awesome Remote, and you can find out more by clicking on the link in the description section of the video. So, as I mentioned people, the full 41-minute video by Fenix is linked in the description section of the video for you folks to go and enjoy, but if you want a shorter, summarized snippet of what was covered, that's what we'll be tackling in this video today. I've gone ahead and taken notes from every section addressed by Fenix so we can run through them one by one and cover everything that's new, accompanied by the awesome footage and previews provided by Fenix themselves. So, let's get started. Starting things off then, the team have redesigned and created a brand new automatic cabin announcement and PA system feature. As you can hear in this short snippet in just a second, cabin crew announcements will now be supported throughout the aircraft, playing automatically in different phases of flight.
Safety procedures. The safety card found in your seat pocket contains important information about exit routes, oxygen masks, life jackets, and the brace position.
Now, best of all of these files are completely community modifiable, so you guys can create cabin crew sound packs and even tie them to specific liveries, so every time you fly EasyJet, for example, the EasyJet cabin crew sounds are played. Fenix being Fenix have obviously gone above and beyond in the attention to detail department as usual by providing proper sound attenuation from the speakers in the cabin, meaning the specific seat position you're in will reflect the volume of the cabin crew announcements differently, since these speakers are located in different areas of the cabin. There will also be random drops and stutters in the audio that you'll hear, especially when electrical power is being transferred during engine start, since this whole system isn't just a gimmick, but actually tied to the electrical system of the aircraft itself. This means that we as pilots can actually go ahead and adjust the PA system using the audio controls on the central pedestal in the cockpit as well, so all in all, a very neat feature coming to Block 2 of the Fenix A320. Next up then, Block 2 also brings full automatic GSX integration. Now, I know many of you guys might not be fans of GSX, specifically in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but having an aircraft that genuinely supports all of GSX's features will change that, let me tell you. From auto-progressive fueling and boarding, granular options to control catering services, baggage loading services, and appropriate PA announcements to go alongside all of this, all the while having everything be automatic without having to fiddle with any specific controls or menu options. I'm pretty optimistic many of you guys are going to love this aspect of the update. Some small little minor details alongside these are also included, such as an auto pushback or automatic chalk placement feature when the aircraft releases or sets the parking brake, and depending on the status of the beacon light within the aircraft. Furthermore, Fenix has also planned future updates to integrate the ACARS system into GSX as well, but all in all, once again, a very neat feature that will help simulate realistic point-to-point operations for the aircraft much better. Moving on then to something a lot of people in the flight simming community love, the EFB. Though on the surface it might look very similar, Fenix assures us that this is version 2 of the EFB under the hood, with massive improvements set to improve the aircraft setup experience. To start things off, everything is way more snappier, and persistence now exists within each app within the EFB, allowing you to go back to the exact page or pane on each app after you switch between them. You can also change the background wallpaper of the EFB now, so a neat little update there, and keyboard inputs have also been added for those that don't enjoy fiddling with their mouse. In terms of app-specific improvements, the entire EFB now uses charts and data directly sourced from Navigraph, thereby providing more accurate performance data as well as visual data for pilots to navigate airports and airspaces. A new custom runway intersection calculation setting has also been added, and best of all performance calculations done on the EFB can now be seamlessly handed over to the MCDU without having to enter things manually, which is awesome. It already exists in some of the other aircraft we know and love, like the Horizon Simulations 787 for example, as well as the PMDG 737, so it's good to see that it's now coming to the Fenix A320 as well. Finally, on the EFB side of things, the team have also added a comprehensive QRH or Quick Reference Handbook, as well as some checklists to make the entire experience as seamless as possible for those of us who want to learn the aircraft from the ground up. That all being said, ladies and gentlemen, the remaining bulk of the video primarily focused on meticulous improvements made to several external details and flight modeling aspects of the aircraft, some of the most important aspects of any add-on aircraft in Flight Simulator, which are pretty cool, so stick around. Now note that I'll be speedrunning through some of these, but as I mentioned before, I do think you guys should check out Fenix's full video on the topic if you want to learn more. First things first then, on the SDS and FM side of things, on the flight model side of things, there's a new Sidestick damping simulation the team has been working on, adding a bit more inertia to the aircraft to make it behave like the real thing. Now, note that this is completely optional, but if one does choose to enable this feature, Fenix will be going ahead and providing some recommended peripheral sensitivities that you can configure to have the most realistic experience. As for the flight model itself, VNAV calculations are way more accurate now, and flare mode improvements have been made in flap 3 or flap full landing configuration. As for the external engine modeling, the engines will now respond to being manhandled as well, demonstrating their individual quirks over time. For example, compressor stalls or flameouts can occur that will damage the engine over time, preventing restarts and core locks during emergencies. Moving on to the ultra-detailed FADEC system then, the video demonstrated a 35-minute turnaround in New Delhi, India, which was extremely hot at the time it was showcased. Here we got to see some primary differences between the IAE and CFM engines too. Now for those of you that don't know, Block 2 will also be bringing us the new IAE engine types for the aircraft, which have been modeled in detail. Due to their lower max transient temperature, they have an extended crank period compared to the CFMs, and as you guys can see, this was also demonstrated in the video by Fenix. The video also went on to show us failures in this regard, including an engine 1 start fault where the FADEC system immediately jumped in and aborted the start procedure using its auto start projections. Once again, many more details like this were showcased in the video, so I encourage you guys to go and check them out if you guys are feeling all excited after watching this one. Doing a complete 180 from New Delhi, we were then taken to Copenhagen with snowy weather at -2 degrees Celsius. We see that both the engine cowling and fan blade icing have both been modeled. A demo was provided to show us how the ice shedding procedure needs to be followed in order to start the engines in these cases as well. Finally then, there was a pretty exciting demo on compressor stalls, and I think it goes without saying at this point, but the level of detail here once again is mind-boggling. The video demonstrates a large crosswind where the power needs to be applied relatively quickly, causing engine 1 to surge, stall, and then eventually flame out. Now for those of you that don't know, a compressor stall occurs when there's a sudden local disruption of the airflow in the compressor of a gas turbine or an engine. In this case, since engine 1 was in the wind and engine 2 was shielded, being on the opposite side, engine 1 surges and stalls, whereas engine 2 kind of remains consistent. And get this, the Fenix team have also gone ahead and modeled things like bird strikes that can cause random surges or complete engine destructions through pure chance. If you choose to enable it, obviously, everything here is completely optional. Once again, are all of these intricately modeled features always noticeable? No, but do they contribute to an ultra-detailed simulation of the Airbus A320 for home simulators that continues to astonish me? Absolutely. And that brings us to the conclusion section of both our video as well as Fenix's official Block 2 update video. The team highlighted that the external engine modeling and added features on the A320 make it a more solid foundation upon which to build their highly anticipated A319 and A321 projects as well, since the heavy upfront investment into these technologies right now helps smooth over some of those costs for future aircraft releases for us customers in the future. That being said, however, the team does say that future updates will be more frequent after the Block 2 releases, as a large chunk of the foundational pieces for the aircraft will have been completed by then. I for one can't wait for Block 2, which will be a free update by the way to all of those who have the Fenix A320. Do let me know what feature you're looking forward to the most, and if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon for all future news in the world of flight simulation. With that all said guys, thanks for watching and thanks for flying by.